shaking his head. Ruan strode forward, his face flushed an angry red. He reached out, tearing open Ciaran's robe and ripping the bronze cross from his chest. "Is this at the root of your betrayal?" He spat the words, his lips turning up in a snarl of disgust. Ciaran bowed his head, his eyes fixed on a clump of damp earth. What argument could he offer in his defence? Just days ago, he too would have been horrified by his actions. Now, he found himself unable to deny them. Taking a deep breath, he looked up to face the chief priest. "How can I change that which I have come to believe?" The words came out in a whisper. Even as he spoke, he felt as if two large hands were tightening around his throat. Ruan's countenance hardened, his hands balling at his sides, but before he could respond, another of the High Council stepped forward and touched his arm. "Allow me to speak with the lad," Domhnall said, his deep, cerulean eyes filled with pain. "He has been under my tutelage since he first came of age. Perhaps he will accept my counsel now." Ruan glanced at Domhnall, and after a moment's hesitation gave a curt nod. "Try your best, Ashenakara, though I fear even your guidance will fail." Domhnall acknowledged Ruan's warning with a dip of his head before turning to face Ciaran. "Please, my son, heed my words." His tone was firm, but held a gentleness that served to comfort rather than reprimand. "Think of what it is you are saying. You were chosen by the goddess to be the father of priests, but you have defiled yourself by lying with this unsanctioned woman." He laid his hand on Ciaran's shoulder. "Accept this new god as your own, if it is your wish, but do not betray your goddess in doing so. See the folly of your actions. Forsake this sorceress, and beg your mother's forgiveness." Ciaran could not look the man in the eyes, and so gazed out across the lake instead. "Paranormal, master, but in all good conscience I cannot, for I love her more than life itself." In spite of his conviction, he couldn't suppress a twinge of shame for the distress he'd brought upon his noble mentor. "I am truly sorry, master, but no matter how hopeless my plight, I can give no other answer." With his jaw firmly set, he turned his attention back toward Domhnall. His heart was breaking, but his voice held strong and steady, firm with a love born from the depths of his soul. "I have taken Aisling for my wife, and my Lord and God has blessed that union. I will deny neither, no matter the cost." "Enough!" Ruan shouted. He caught Domhnall by the arm, and for a moment Ciaran thought he saw a shadow of regret flash across the chief priest's dark expression, though it was gone as fast as it had come. Pushing past his friend, he came to stand before Ciaran once more, determination etched in the creases of his forehead. "It is clear you have no remorse for your treachery, and so you shall be held accountable in accordance with our ancient laws." He turned toward the altar, and a fresh vengeance resounded in his voice. "First, however, we must appease the goddess of our Tua, lest she send her punishment upon us. This woman has defiled a chosen priest, destined to serve only the lady herself. It is she who must give her life in recompense." "No!" Ciaran wrenched his arms free from his captors. With a strength fortified by a deep, unwavering love, he shoved the priests hard against the stone pillars. The elaborate granite altar stood steps away, the soothing waters of the lake lapping on the shore behind it. If he could reach Aisling, they could escape to the gentle water. He was a strong swimmer, better than any who stood to judge him. And a small boat sat anchored no more than a few strokes from the shore. The two fledgling priests struggled to gain their footing, and Ciaran darted forward. He reached out, his fingers brushing Aisling's hand. She turned to face him, a single tear running down her cheek. Though the rapid rise and fall of her chest revealed her anguish, her face glowed with an internal peace, and a tender smile touched her lips as she caressed his cheek. "This kushla mo kare thu," she whispered. But before he could return her words of love, a strong arm caught him under the chin, knocking him to the ground. Having regained their balance, the two stunned clerics